Well, good afternoon, everyone. It is 11 a.m. here in Las Vegas at the Tricksupply Showroom, 2 p.m. Eastern in other parts of the world, and welcome to our live stream. We do it every Friday here at Tricksupply. I'm going to give you a little peek around the store, look at some of the things we're going to be looking at today. You're checking out some of our card magic selection if you were to enter our showroom, and you can do that every Wednesday through Saturday, 12 to 6. These are the card tricks you'll see. If there's one you're looking for, it's probably in this case, and if not in that case, maybe in the one next to it. And guess what? If it's not there, I probably have it in the warehouse, one of the 20,000 items we keep on hand here at Tricksupply. Browsing around, we got some killer $5 DVDs, lots of card magic in there. There's our bicycle selection, and over here the bike trick cards. So you need some of the basics, double backers, 4 stacks, that's over there. And here a small selection of our premium cards, some of which I'll be unboxing today. I treated myself to a couple decks. Of course, there's my favorite section of the shop, and one of the most prolific authors of card magic, Ed Marlowe. Hey, that's Tricksupply. I'm your host, Doug Kahn, and welcome to what is one of my favorite subjects in all of magic, card tricks. Just a little note, this stream, we pivoted away from a state stream that's going to be happening next week as we prepare for a pretty big event in store. We've decided instead of doing it small time, we're going to do it big time. And next Friday, when I stream from this space, you'll be seeing some more of our estate items, stuff from the bargain bin, special deals and collectibles. And we have a nice sale that we're going to do for anyone coming into the shop next week. And I'll be happy to talk about all of that next week. And if you're looking for that, that's what's going on with that. Let me say hello to those that choose to join us. Robert, what's up? I got some things you might like today, Mr. Mathematician. Tim's in the Big Apple. What's happened? Home Slice in the house. What's up, Vinny? Do I have your thing here? I do. We got Vinny's trick around here somewhere. What's up, Joe? Glad you could join us today. Dang, that's a hard one to pronounce. Strangers Gallery, the John Bannon classic. I actually love that trick. We got some John Bannon on the agenda today, but I figure maybe we could get started by taking a look at some of the hot new stuff. What's up, Pseudo? Thanks for joining us. Yes. Challenge of international magic shipping. So let's take a look around, see what I got on the agenda today. We got some things that we won't be looking at. These are worth your consideration for sure. Some of the stuff from the Defada line, the Royal Provision, the Royal Transposition. These are big versions of the transformation card. And boy, I could tell you that all-in set from Alan Ackerman, well worth your consideration. He actually signed that set last time he was here. If you don't know, Alan lives in Las Vegas. Alan Ackerman, the card man extraordinaire. He holds court every Wednesday over at Tommy Rocker's, the Gary Darwin Magic Club. Go see Darwin there. Here's a few of the other books we'll look at today. I've got a pretty good book selection, and you know me, if it was up to me, I would just talk about books all afternoon. Whoa, extreme close up. Let's go back to here and get this jam started with some of the hot new stuff. I know all of you are always interested in the latest, greatest magic to hit the shelves. And boy, we have a winner today. This from Chris James and Wow Miranda's production house. I've had the honor of watching this button develop over the last couple years. Chris James and I were kind of buddied up on the internet. We've been hanging out online for, last couple of years, and this thing has been in the works for a while. I say maybe we take a look at the tutorial for this thing and get an overview of what's going on with the button. Let's back it up just a little bit, yeah. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Where are we?
Sound at will, giving you complete.
Let's go
Stop
here.
Scrolling. Stop right now.
Stop, Craig.
Let me tell you about The Button by Joel Miranda and Chris James. This is probably the best close-up trick that I've ever seen. What we have here is a little button. Looks like the sort of thing that you've ripped off the desk of an AGT judge. But what it does will blow your mind.
What the absolute... There's a card in there, Jake.
First of all, the first thing you're going to be able to do is do the best card to impossible location you'll ever see. Imagine giving somebody this button right from the very beginning. They hold onto it, you go nowhere near it. They're pressing the button during the course of the routine. You have someone else pick a card, they sign it, it's lost in the pack, and then you unscrew the button, you tip it out, and it's their card. They've been holding onto it the whole time. But I'm telling you right now, that's just the beginning. Not only that, you can change the sound effects within the button from performance to performance.
So the button includes a remote control that allows you to pause and play the sound at will, giving you complete control over when the audio plays. When the sound stops, it's the perfect moment to open the button and reveal the signed playing card has appeared inside.
But on the actual project, I'm going to be going through around about 25 different routines. I'm going to be showing you how to use this to do mentalism, to do close-up magic. We're going to talk about the classics of magic. We're going to be talking about routines that you've never seen before. And I include a full sleight section. So even if you're brand new into magic, I've got you covered. Guys, this is exciting. This is incredible. And I am super proud to be invited onto the project.
What the hell? That's the best magic trick I've actually ever been shown, like seriously.
My name's Craig Petty. On behalf of Chris James and Joel Miranda, this is The Button.
It's the button. It's the hot new trick. And you know, a lot of times hot new tricks come out and they get a lot of hype and maybe don't deserve it. I'm here to tell you today, this one actually does. And let's talk about it for just a minute, tell you what comes in the package, what it does, and a couple of things about what I think about this thing. I'm hoping you can hear the button. Sometimes my audio for weird sounds gets cut off, but here's the sound. First thing we'll note, it doesn't have to be that sound. This thing is programmable. It includes a micro SD chip, and you can change the sound that the button makes. It does include, I think, a collection of sounds to pick from, but it does one sound at a time, just to be clear. Just in case you have some confusion about this item, here's what it does. A couple of things. Beyond making the noise, it comes with a remote control. Push of this button means that when your spectator pushes the button, the remote will not make any noise. So you have the ability to turn the button on or off remotely. What this means is as you're doing your preferred routine, and Craig Petty gives you 25 routines to pick from. There's some real winners on there. His card to box is stellar. But when you do the routine, the button will eventually stop working. Your spectator will be hitting it, the sounds will stop. And when the sound stops, you open the button to generally discover a signed playing card or a predicted playing card, or maybe it's just a duplicate playing card. And that appears inside this lovely button. Let me see. Is there anything that I don't like about this thing? I mean, I'm going to talk good things about it. I'll say maybe this. Getting into the button to turn it on and off would have been a little bit nicer if there's like a on switch right here, maybe. To turn the button on or off to activate it, you have to get inside this thing. And it's just a little bit of a process to get to the on switch. And this is what you're paying $100 for. That and 3 hours of Craig Petty tutorials. He's got it's like a master class on card magic, but certainly card magic with the button. There's an on-off switch there. Reportedly, this thing will stay on in working order for 24 hours. So once you do turn it on, you're good to go for the whole shift, and probably a couple of shifts if you remember to reset this thing. Turn it off when you're done, you know what I mean? So if there's any downside, maybe it's that. It takes a little bit to get the button into its housing and turn it on and off. Wow. There we go. The reset on this, if you're interested in the mystery card function of the of the button, it's just a simple tap. And now you're ready to activate the appearance of the folded card. And I should note this, a lot of the mystery card releases that have come out don't really have a connection with the effect that you're performing. Like, for example, you might have a card box sitting on the table, a little wooden box, and at the end of your routine, a folded playing card appears in this wooden box for no good reason at all. A prop like the button integrates the prop where the card is going to appear actively. So when this card does make its reveal inside the button, it's connected to the actions that have been happening prior to the impossible discovery. So this, if nothing else, is worth considering if you do the mystery card plot or the folded card plot. Certainly an advantage of this device. We do include some extra accoutrements here. This is a starter piece of card to get you going on the folded card discovery. As mentioned, you get the micro SD holder here. You get the ability to change the sounds. And again, the remote control stops the sound when you push the button. And then that's when you would make your magic happen with the card appearing inside. I've had this in my hands for all of about 2 days. And of those 2 days, I've only got to spend about 15 minutes with it. Fortunately, we've been very busy in the Tricksupply shops the last couple of days. I can't wait to dig into this more and start doing some in-store demos. If you want to see it live and in person, come see me. I'll be opening the doors at 12 o'clock. And let's talk about this in a little bit more detail. Here's a question from Vinny. Does it have to be a card? Why would it? No, it doesn't have to be. It could be any small object. I think like it'd be a great reveal for a bill. I say any small object. It probably needs to be paper-esque, but I could even see a universe maybe where like a ring appears inside that. Yeah, there's one. We could also do a coin. Yeah, maybe a ruse where one side of the coin is signed by the magician, the other side is signed by the spectator, and that would allow you to do that reveal. Or confabulation. There we go. We're jamming on the button here today, like Craig Petty's 3.5 hours of tutorial, and this thing isn't enough. Anyway, it's a little pricey at $100, $99 to get it. If you want one today, I did take a minute to put the QR code together. You can just go tap that thing, zap your phone on the QR code. It'll take you to the product. And congratulations, Chris James and Wow Miranda, on a very strong release. And as time goes forward, I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more about this item. It is a winner. Before I get too far along here, I do want to mention, like, I'm going to be talking about a lot of new stuff, a lot of weird stuff. I pulled some oddities out to look at today. Like, we're going off the train tracks a little bit from here on out. But for those of you that are new to card magic, or if you haven't got started in this art form, I wanted to recommend something for all of you. This is something I've talked about before on the stream. This is a kit of card magic that I put together for beginners that come into the store, and I can easily recommend it to anyone watching this stream today, whether it's for an accomplished professional. These are all professional level trick decks, Svengali, Invisible deck, Stripper deck. A pro could buy these. It's a value price for this Cardshark Combo, but I really put it together for a beginner who wanted to get started in magic and have all the things they need to go right out of the gate. And at like $50, this is a pretty good package deal. So if you're new to card magic, before we go too far down the rabbit hole, consider our Cardshark Combo. And as I talk about this and other things on this stream today, let me mention they're also all linked up in the description of this video. If you're watching us on YouTube, you could go down in the description and find the links for most of this stuff here. Now, I wanted to unbox a couple of decks today. I actually treated myself to a couple of things in store, and we're just going to unbox a couple of premium playing cards. I've been licking my chops at this Elvis deck from Theory 11. I've got a presentation I've been dying to do with this, something from my buddy Mike Strange. And this deck actually caught my eye yesterday as I was putting some inventory up. Of course, there's a cat on this deck of cards, so that's all I really needed to see to have an interest in this deck of cards. But then I went onto our website and I said, what is Lucky 13? I've got the Lucky 13 QR code up there. If this deck is appealing to you as we talk about it, you can just click that link and go learn more about it. Always a win when the pull tab works right out of the gate. All right, Lucky 13. This is a deck by Jesse Feinberg. And it's unique in that Jesse has eliminated basically the court cards from the decks. And we'll take a look at what's going on here. Let's look at the tuck case, cat on the front. It's a pretty simple design. The number 13 on the back, that might be Jesse's initials. A nice simple border. And I prefer a deck like this. It isn't like outlandish, not a lot going on. I like a simple design. Oh, there is cats. All right. So we have a couple of cats for jokers. Are these identical? They're a little different. Okay. I like it when it's a little different because it could be used for magic effects. You have one with the eyes open, one with the eyes closed. And as we look at the ace of spades, you'll notice there is no ace. That is a numerical value of 1. And as we dive deeper into this deck, I think you'll see there are no letters, court cards, etc. This deck is a numbered deck. So I'm going to scoot through past 3 through 10. And this is what I'm talking about when I say an all numbered deck with no court cards. So now we have the 11 of spades, we have the 12 of spades, and we have the 13 of spades. I've got a number of effects that could be clarified by cards that do not have court cards but stick solely to the numerical values. I'll talk about a few of them after we're done looking at this deck. You know, if you're doing tricks where the spectator needs to know for certain the numerical value of a card, well, this leaves nothing to the imagination. It's very clear what these cards are. Could also use it maybe as a surprise reveal, you know, as, you know, some, or maybe this, like you're doing something like Mickey Mouse Math from Paul Harris. And now we're, and now we're doing that. Man, as I'm streaming here live, I want Jason Byrne to wave at the camera. What's up, Jason?
Hello.
We are live on the internet as we speak. The pros have arrived early to the store today, so I'm going to ask you all to be patient for about 10 more minutes. Yeah, if you can do that for me, or I can disappoint the internet, but they're going to be mad at you. So, yeah, you're at the Planet Hollywood, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The V Variety Show,
V Theater, yeah.
the V Theater. Man, I'm gonna do an impromptu interview with Jay. Do you mind being on camera for 2 minutes? Too late now. You came into our universe. Let's plug your show. What time is the V Variety Show?
The show is at 7, and then this All Stars of Magic is playing at 4, 3 days a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
All Stars of Magic, 3 days a week. I will be there next Tuesday, so you'll see me in that theater. I hear Joseph Gabriel's in the rotation this week. Is that right? So you'll see me out there. I tell y'all this was where the pros shop. You don't have to believe me, now you know. All right, the other deck I wanted to take a peek at real quick here is the Elvis deck. And this is something I've been wanting to look at for a number of reasons. Number one, it's frickin' Elvis. Number two is my buddy Mike Fisher. He published this routine for the Chicago opener, where he would have an Elvis card make its appearance as the surprise odd back colored card. And the presentation is this. After they selected a card, any card, my buddy Mike would say, you're thinking of a king. And they would say no. And he would say, no, not just any king, the king of rock and roll, Elvis Presley. And then the back of the card would have Elvis on the card. And I thought, wow, how nice would it be to actually use an Elvis deck for this presentation? So when I talk about the Chicago opener, I'm talking about a card like this making its appearance in a regular deck of cards. And now the king himself will find the card that you picked and then magically transform into another selection after that. This premise alone is enough for me to buy the deck, but then I also think there's a lot of room to do some fun videos with Elvis. If you follow me on social media, you can be looking forward to an official unboxing of this pack. We'll integrate the king. We'll have some rock and roll playing while we go through this deck of cards. Come on now. It's Elvis Presley. We could do the whole stream on this deck and be happy about it, but let's cut it short there. I've got some pros to accommodate in the space. Growler guys, I got a shout out about the ghost deck. That is hot. I did mention that. Also, you had a question before we started. You wanted to know what on the middle card display, what is the deck in the bottom right? That was on the thumbnail, and the answer to your inquiry is it's a corner short deck. So this is a complete deck of corner shorts. It's an oddity, but you know, if you need corner shorts, they're all here. I suppose you could also build like maybe a Svengali deck or something of that nature with corner shorted playing cards. Vinny knows. Vinny Giordano says hi, Jason.
Hello, come on down.
He says hi. He'll be here later. He's a reg on the Fridays. Yeah, I know. Let me do about 2 more items and then we'll wrap it up and be happy about that. I got to talk about some of the books that came in, and I briefly wanted to mention this item. We're doing kind of a Penguin special here today. I've got a couple things from Craig Petty and the boys at Penguin. This is Mindblox. This is a Lego deck. This is a really clever item that I think has a ton of possibilities. It offers a marked card system, which is ingenious. It offers a Svengali system, which is cool. And so now you can force objects that are related to, in this case, you relate them to Legos. This is a Lego challenge deck. You have to build the item that they pick. And the clever marking system allows you to know exactly what item it is that they picked. Or if you'd like, you can use the Svengali force and they'll always get the ambulance because magical things. I would encourage interested parties to jump onto Tricksupply and check out the full trailer. This was almost Trick of the Year for 2024 and certainly one of the hotter minimalism items from last year. And if you're looking for a card trick that's a little bit off the beaten path, I feel like Mindblox from Craig Petty, you know, if you missed it on its inaugural release, I'm here to tell you, it's a good one. Couple other winners we added from Penguin this week. Space Cowboy by Josh Birch. This is a really clever and fun prediction of character cards. You have 3 cards, a cowboy, an astronaut, and a ballerina. Your spectator mismatches the cards to unique properties. So you might have a space cowboy, ballerina, and you've predicted the choices they'll make. That is a winner. And then I had a couple other ones I grabbed that were really good from Penguin. I think this is a great trick for the spooky season. Deja Voodoo from Dan Harlan, where a spectator picks a voodoo card and you've picked the cure for it. And then a piece that I've been wanting to put in my repertoire for many moons, and you'll be seeing it soon for me on the social medias and live in the store if you come in, Gaten Bloom's incredible standing card. It's a winner. All right, let's wrap up this stream with a couple book recommendations. You know I like the books, and I've got a couple of 3 or 4 I want to share with you today. As we got our stock in from Penguin yesterday, we got this book in. Surprising to me, I'd forgot about this title, but as I was reminiscing, I remembered I actually had a contribution in this book. So you will find a Doug Kahn item in the Best of All Worlds as the world returns, the rerun. There's 20 other versions of Out of This World in this book, generally regarded as the best card trick of all time. And you'll find my version in there. I went ahead and signed my item, so whether you like it or not, you'll get a Doug Kahn signature in that book. We mentioned John Bannon earlier. This is a book all on his mathematical magic, his latest creations with a mathematical touch, easy self-working items. Robert Vallon, I'm talking to you now. You will love this book if you get it. A little pricey for a thin volume at $40, but there's a couple routines in here that are just, one of them, the Magic Square routine, worth the whole $40. And when I talk about a deck like the Lucky 13 deck, this is a pack that I think of when we're doing things like Magic Squares that use court cards. If we can eliminate jacks and queens and just have the numerical values in play, it makes it easy for our spectators to do the necessary addition. And it's necessary in those routines. This has been my favorite card book of the year. This is Jeff Latta on cards, 52 Farewells. This is a companion book to The Long Goodbye, which is his coin volume. Both of those together will make you a better close-up artist. Stephen Minch at the helm, describing classic close-up sequences. Get gooder, get those books. And lastly, as I reminisce about one of the most important people in my life, a mentor for over 30 years, a great friend, father figure, remembering John Rockerbomber to wrap up this stream. This is one of my favorite books from The Rock. I can't believe we're selling this thing for only $29.95. This might be the only copy we have. I don't know if there's others available. Someone will buy this today, and someone will be very happy to have this wonderful volume, a collection of magic from masters. It's really an international volume with like 30 routines from John and his friends and Marlowe. And lastly, let me mention the Wild Card Kit. This is an estate item. This book is hard to find and catch, draws upwards of $120, $130 for this volume. It does include a set of wild cards as the original volume did. And in this tome, you'll find Ed Marlowe's handlings as well as others for the classic wild card plot. Another great, hard to find item from the warehouse of Tricksupply. And hey, we'll be talking about more of that stuff live next week. It's going to be an estate extravaganza. We'll be overflowing with pre-owned treasures. And I'll be happy to share all that with all of you next week. We've got a couple unsolicited testimonies from the chat. Thank you for jumping in. Yeah, man, I was actually at a Lego store last weekend looking for Lego Ambulance. Robert does Deja Voodoo. There we go. You can pick that one up and be happy with it. You get that John Bannon book, you'll be happy too. Scott knows. Yeah, when his first book came out, Impossibilia, which we have a copy of on the shelf, I literally learned every routine in that book. Impossibilia, go find it in our website, and that'll be my last recommendation today. If you have any other questions about things we've talked about, you're welcome to leave a comment in the description or in the comment section of this video. I check those on the daily, and I will answer your questions there. But I've got some magic to sell, so I'm going to leave you guys behind. I'll see you next Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, and hey, it's a ciao for now. Au revoir.